I just recently became a new vegan by watching online documentaries. Now, my issue is family and friends not loving my new lifestyle. I love it. They think I'm crazy and it's not black enough, you know? I usually do chitlins for every Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I do them well. This year, I'm thinking of sneaking in some Tofurkey and vegan mac and cheese. My question to you is, I know your daughter's a vegan. How would you introduce veganism, or how can I introduce veganism?
Yeah, you don't introduce veganism at my house on Thanksgiving. I want to talk about something for a minute that's gotten pretty close to my heart. I want to talk about vegans for just a moment. You're a vegan? Congratulations. It's a great way to live. Webster describes vegans this way. They say vegans as a strict vegetarian who consumes no animal products. And listen to me, I'm absolutely 1,000% cool with this. That's the way you want to do it. You love it, I love it too. Do whatever floats your boat. But I want to talk to my kids for a minute, because 3 of my kids are vegans. My 2 twin daughters are vegans, and my third oldest daughter, she's a vegan. She's even talked her husband into it too. Well, he didn't have any choice. He's just a guy. So I want to say something to them because they watch my show every day. Listen to me. And I guess you might want to say there's some vegan in your life, but I'm just talking to the 3 of my kids as vegans. You can eat all the tofu, eggplant, and wood chips you want. You can put ketchup on it. You can do whatever the you want. But stop coming to my house talking down to me because I eat meat. I don't want to hear it. They walk in the house. They walk in the house now. Do I smell meat? I think I smell meat. You right, you smell meat. Because there's meat in here. It's meat on the stove. It's meat in the freezer. I got meat in the glove compartment of my car. Yeah, I got meat in here. I got news for you. I put meat in your baby's formula bottle when you ain't looking. Yeah. As a matter of fact, while you standing here smelling meat, I got meat on the way. I just ordered a pizza with nothing but meat on it. No crust, just meat in the box, hot. My kids kill me. They done got all bougie now, because they got little jobs and business and stuff. They done graduated from college. Yeah, you know why you graduated from college? Because your old meat-eating daddy paid for it. That's how you got to college. Sitting up in here with your leather shoes on and your leather handbags. Yeah, you might not eat it, but you sure wear it, though.
Vegan diet? You've been on a vegan diet. You look great. How's that going? You know that's no meat.
I'm counting the days till this is over.
What, my show?
This
the
vegan
diet.
diet.
Oh, my show. I thought you had my show.
Meredith,
I thought you were turning on me.
my show. No.
I thought you would turn because of the pants.
No, I'm sorry. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
all right.
No, I hate this.
All right, back to the why.
Yeah, this ain't gonna make it.
Why?
I thought I'd give it a shot. I mean, I'm detoxing. I was doing a vegan diet, and I'm in the raw section where all your food has to be raw right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to eat something really soon that I have killed. That's. No, I don't know. I ain't in this vegan mess. Y'all can have this here back. Soon as September 28th gets here, it's over.
Oh, is that, how many days will it have been?
That would be 28 days.
28 days, okay.
Yeah.
But aren't you feeling better? Isn't your head clearer?
You know, they say that, but no.
Nothing.
No. Every time somebody walk by me with a plate, I want it. I don't know all this clarity and all like this. I didn't mind living in a fog. You know, if I eat a steak and I get sleepy, I like that. I like that. To be 64 years old and not be on any prescription meds, That's like an amazing blessing, man. They had me on high blood pressure medicine one time. I took it for a week and told them I ain't finna do this no more. Went and got me some garlic and changed my diet, became a vegan. I became a vegan for 2 months. Blood pressure went down. Went back, got me some barbecue. I'm back. They said, after you become a vegan, when you see meat, you won't want it anymore. That's not true. That's not true. But I did, I felt good though.
Yes.
I felt good. I just wasn't enjoying eating as much. I just wanted more of a variety. But I'm thinking about going back to vegan for a little while.
Well, nowadays it's in thing. The variety is amazing.
It is, yes.
Yes.
It is. So
give
I
it-
may
so-
try
so give it a shot, yes.
I will give it a shot. I know you feel better. I gotta lose some weight too. Gotta lose a
I
little
definitely
weight.
will do so, sir.
The little stomach here is getting on my nerves now, you know. Come back. My next guest is one of my favorite chefs here in Los Angeles. And I kid you not, she has a vegan soul food restaurant in Inglewood called Stuff I Eat. Please welcome Chef Babette. Chef Babette, how'd you get the idea for a vegan soul food restaurant?
My husband and I have eaten this way for now 30 years. Well, I met him in 1990, and in 1992 we got married. I was 40 years old at the time, so go.
I'm gonna just say, she's 70.
Go.
This is her.
Go.
She's 70.
Put blueberries in this one. Okay, so that one ain't hot. Yes. Is that off the chain or what? Can I have a bite of yours?
'Cause you don't even know.
I want
You
all
know,
of y'all to have
sometimes-
some of this.
You know, sometimes when you eat healthy, it be trifling. That ain't what's happening at her spot. I've learned that you are what you eat. So by changing your diet, you change the clarity of your mind, change the clarity of your eyes, your energy level increases, your metabolism picks up, you feel better, you reduce inflammation in your body. One thing about vegetables, they reduce inflammation in the body. So if I could tell you all anything, that you are what you eat, and this restaurant,
which helps to lower bad cholesterol, helps lower blood pressure, helps to lower your risk factors for heart disease, diabetes, dementia, cancer. It's the only diet in the world that has been clinically proven to not just prevent, but also arrest and reverse heart disease. No other diet in the world can say that.
yeah.
This is as easy as one meal a day. Just swap out one meat item for one plant-based item. It's simple. It's really easy. It doesn't have to be all in. You could start in the way that works best for you. If it's breakfast, cool. It's easy. You could have oatmeal for breakfast. You could have berries. You could have a smoothie. You could have so many things. It's about living in a way that makes most sense for you and your family.
Let me tell you something. I've been doing this since January 4th. I gotta tell you, I do feel a lot better. I do feel a lot better.
So just imagine there's more than 15 million Americans that are taking cholesterol-lowering medication. 15 million Americans that we know come with a whole host of side effects.
Okay, I kid you not. This is on the Bible. You know, I don't play with the Lord. I have the cholesterol levels of an infant. Of an infant. My cholesterol numbers is lower than my cardiologist numbers.
That's amazing.
My numbers are that low.
And you're not taking cholesterol-lowering medication, you're doing it through diet
No,
alone.
you can eat your way healthy.
That's right.
You are what you eat.
That's right.
We gotta understand
Every
this.
single time we eat, we're either fueling disease or feeding health. We are not at the mercy of our genes.
Right.
We are not. People say, oh, it's in my family. It's bad genes. Oh, my dad died of heart disease.
Right.
His dad died of heart disease. Disease is not what's hereditary. It's the habits that are hereditary.
Yeah.
So change your habits and you change your destiny.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
can do it. you brought 2 examples here. Tell us about these examples.
Okay, so a lot of times people think that eating healthy or eating cleaner is about deprivation. I'm here to say, no, it's not. Okay, so here's a regular burger and here's a 100% plant-based burger. They look pretty much the same. This tastes absolutely unbelievable, but guess what? It has 0 cholesterol. All the flavor, 0 cholesterol. Look at these numbers. This one actually has fiber. There's no fiber in animal products. There's no fiber in this hamburger. There's a lot of... You like that?
Yeah, go ahead. You doing all the talking.
There's a lot of fiber. There's a lot of fiber in this sloppy Joe.
I gotta get that recipe right there. That's good. All right, what we got next?
So here we have regular barbecue wings, and next to it we have cauliflower barbecue wings. Super simple, 1 ingredient, really easy to make, and we have some vegan ranch dressing behind it, so you could try it with them. It's real food that heals the body from the inside out. It's gonna fuel your health. So you don't have to deprive yourself. It doesn't have to be about giving up everything you love. It's
What did you
about
put
adding
on the
food
cauliflower,
that gives
man?
you more health. It's the secret sauce. It's literally just spices.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's never tried being a vegan before? Come here, man. Right there. Yeah, you with the orange on. Come here. You ain't doing nothing. Don't worry about it. Let's try one of them right there. See, and that's cauliflower. They've done stuff with being a vegan that can really help you out. Like you say, you ain't got to start all in. Switch your meal. Let's go on up there. Let's go.
They ate a lot of meat. They showed us commercials
Steak. That's what a man eats.
selling that idea that real men eat meat.
Serious man food.
But you got to understand that's marketing. That's not based on reality.
If they tell you to eat more meat to be strong, don't buy it.
Well, my life is different today because I have stability in my life now. I'm not on drugs. I'm not out in the streets. I'm not in clubs. And everything that I do now is just basically structured around the development of my life and my family. I lost weight. I dropped over 100 pounds, but yeah, I just felt like changing my life, doing something different. And so I became a vegan. And becoming a vegan, it gave me another opportunity to live a healthy life. And I was just horrible. I was so congested from all the drugs and bad cocaine. I could hardly breathe, high blood pressure, almost dying, and arthritis. And once I became a vegan, all that stuff, yeah, diminished.
Yeah, which is toxic, and we convert it to urea, and we have to get rid of that through the kidneys. But it's a toxic substance. And if we have too much protein in the diet, that means we put a toxic load on our system. So better not to eat too much protein and rather eat more carbohydrate. Now, what does the world teach you? That if you have a lot of carbohydrate, you're going to get what? Fats. Is that true? Or is it not true? In actual fact, it's not true. If you eat refined carbohydrate, you're going to get fats. But if you eat whole food carbohydrate, you will not get fat. All right. Let me make an analogy. A car is built of iron. Is that right? The engine block is built of iron, and the chassis is built of iron. The whole car is built of iron. So the obvious fuel for the car to run would be iron. So that's why you fill up your tank with iron filings. Is that correct? No. What do you fill up your tank with? With gasoline. With gasoline, because you're going to burn that. Now, the same applies to the human body. The human body, the structural component is protein. So you're built up largely of protein. Now, you don't want to run on protein. You want to run on carbohydrate. That's the fuel of the body. And when you burn the fuel in the body, you produce carbon dioxide and water. The water is useful to you. The carbon dioxide, you go, and it's gone, right? Whereas if you burn protein, you get all these accumulated toxins in your body, these harmful compounds. Your ammonia has to be converted to urea. That may not get too high a concentration or else you will die. The sulfur in the protein has to be built out. That creates sulfate, sulfuric acid, so you're creating an acid system. You have to neutralize that by releasing calcium from the bone. You are creating problem after problem by eating too much protein. Whereas if you eat carbohydrates as fuel, you don't have that problem. If you eat refined carbohydrates, you have a problem, as we will see in a moment. So which proteins are better, plant proteins or animal proteins? Which one do you think? Well, you see, when I first started doing research on this, I applied for a research grant to show that there was a difference between plant and animal proteins in terms of their effectiveness. And guess what? They turned down my request because they said a protein is a protein is a protein. Doesn't matter what you eat. It won't have an effect. When you digest it, you'll get amino acids and you make whatever you want out of that. And I argued, no, it's not like that because the ratio of amino acids in a plant is going to be different to the ratio of amino acids in an animal, but they didn't buy that. And so by some chance, we managed to get into a research project where we could actually test this and prove it and go back to the research committees and say, and then they started funding it. That was fun. And today, this is common knowledge. Here's an article in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. A high ratio of dietary animal to vegetable protein increases the rate of bone loss and the risk of fracture in postmenopausal women. Women in the highest quintile of ratio of animal to vegetable protein had nearly 4-fold greater risk of fracture compared with women with low ratios. Independent of other risk factors including age, calcium intake, weight, estrogen use, smoking, alcohol use, and total protein intake. So if you were to consume animal proteins, you were at least 4 times as bad off as when you were consuming plant proteins. Now, this publication came out in 2001. We actually started this a lot earlier. Why? Because certain amino acids, for example, are rich in sulfur, like this one over here, cysteine and methionine. And if you have lots of those, and animal proteins have a lot of those, you place a tremendous acid load on the system. You see, plant proteins contain more branched-chain amino acids than do animal proteins, and they are easier to digest than animal proteins. If you have branched chains on your amino acids, then your protein is nice and loose. It's globular. If you have non-branched chains, you have a very compact protein. And in order to digest that compact protein, you have to punch it out. So you have to create a far more acid system in your stomach, for example, in order to do that, to unwind that protein so that your enzyme can start cutting it up. So, for example, if you had to have a diet high in protein but plant proteins, the pH in your stomach would never go lower than 4.5. If you put an egg in your stomach, it drops to 1.5. That's battery acid. Do you know that American society and Western society in general, their favorite product to buy and the number one product to buy is an antacid? Isn't that right? Don't they advertise antacids on your TV from morning till night? Absolutely. Why? Show me the animal out there in the world, an elephant or a gazelle or any one of them with a bottle of antacid tied to its back. There's only one creature that does that, and that's us. Maybe we're putting the wrong thing inside so that we produce all that acid. Maybe we should never do it. So plant proteins have very high levels of an amino acid called arginine and glycine in the blood than do animal proteins. And these levels are associated with protecting against clogging of arteries, for example. So we did a little test, and we fed rabbits on diets which contained equal amounts of protein. The one group contained an 18% protein ration derived from soya, and the other one from casein. Now, what is casein? Casein is the protein you find in dairy products. So you'll have it in cheese and in milk and in all of those. And look, when they were fed soya, they had high levels of arginine. When they fed casein, they had low levels of arginine. Now, arginine is your detox amino acid. It helps you to get rid of the excess nitrogen. You want lots of arginine in your diet, and you only get it from plant foods. Glycine is the other one you want high. Soya gave a high glycine, and milk solids gave a low glycine at the same protein level. In fact, rabbits that were fed animal proteins develop arteriosclerosis. And they have elevated cholesterol, even if their diet doesn't contain any cholesterol. And by just giving them a little bit of plant proteins, you improve the situation. So vegetable proteins lowers cholesterol and raises it if you have animal proteins. There's the difference. Plant-based proteins, animal-based proteins, and you see a vast difference in cholesterol levels between the two groups. So overall, the healthier protein to take is plant protein. I'll just run through this quickly before we go to the next category. The 10 animal proteins that cause high cholesterol in rabbits, there's plant protein, doesn't cause high cholesterol. Egg white, pork, chicken, beef, fish, whole egg, casein, turkey, skim milk, and egg yolk. So obviously, the animal proteins were the problem, and plant proteins were much, much lower. When we look at the 10 plant proteins that cause low cholesterol, you'll see something interesting. None of them are really very high. That's the average animal protein. But look at this. Beans, Faber beans and peas are very cholesterol reducing. So if you have a high cholesterol level, what is the best thing you can do to lower it? Eat some beans. It's in fact better even than some prescription drugs with none of the side effects. It really is worth your while to do that from.
Ever since I've been a vegan, it's been like a broken record, an irritating soundbite, looping round and round forever.
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein? Whoa, where do you get your protein? Tell me where. Apples are 2% protein. Bananas are 5% protein. Oranges are 8% protein. And tomatoes are 19% protein.
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein? Lettuce, 36% protein. Spinach is 50% protein. Potatoes are 18% protein.
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein
Where
from?
do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
How do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein?
那你从哪里得到蛋白质呢？
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Tell me where. Beans range from 20 to 58%, depending on the type of bean. Seeds and nuts give us protein gluts while keeping our arteries clean. Broccoli's got a big 3-3. 33%. Lentils have got a big 3-4. 34%. Soybeans got the big 3-5. And the main thing is I'm alive. I'm a vegan and I'm actually still alive. OMG, LOL, WTF, Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get the protein? Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein? Tell me where. Shrooms, mush, shrooms, mush. What about mushrooms, fun guy? Mushrooms contain, as portion of total calories, 56% protein. And in case you want to know about meat, the animal flesh that some people eat, well, beef can contain up to 40% protein. Way less than a kidney bean. Where do you get your protein?
The average American consumes about double the protein his or her own body needs. The truth is that excessive consumption of animal protein badly weakens our bodies. If a diet sufficient in calories is consumed, it's virtually impossible to get an inadequate protein intake. Because our bodies have a vital need for substance doesn't mean that twice or 3 times our need is
Tell me where. I think I've had enough.